Black Mirror is a show that has been at the pinnacle of shocking television for a while now. So long in fact that it's now part of our vocabulary. When an eerie or disturbing development in technology occurs, or even when our society's technological advances seem to be propelling us into a dystopian nightmare, people say that's a bit Black Mirror. The name of the show has almost become a verb we use in this technological age, a fact that Charlie Brooker, creator and writer of the show, recognises.
People say, well, this is a little bit Black Mirror.
Yeah, they do, don't they? Which is good because it's free publicity for us, but it's also terrifying because it seems to be happening a lot.
This is because of how relatable the show is for each and every one of us. Even the name of the show alludes to something that every person watching this video will have experienced. The black mirror of a phone that's run out of power, or a laptop screen going black, where we see our own eyes staring back at us in the black mirror of the technology to which we are attached to, day in, day out. Welcome to the film essay. Charlie Brooker created the show because, in his own words,
generally speaking, I think a lot of shows, most shows exist to reassure people. And I kind of wanted to do something that would actively unsettle people, because I kind of felt that was missing.
I believe there's more to it than that. Think of any new technology being unveiled to the world. It's always an advancement, a betterment of the human condition. Mark Zuckerberg never mentions the social anxiety that comes as a result of social media. It's always sold as connection. Bill Gates never mentions the isolation that comes from sitting in front of a computer. It's always about innovation, creativeness and progression. Charlie Brooker seems to be one of the few people to recognise and want to publicise the other side of the coin, the dark side of technology. And this is especially important when you think about how technology is really one of the few things that connects us all. I'm willing to bet that the first thing that the majority of people watching this video do in the morning is check their phone. Brooker likens our addiction to technology to any other addiction.
I used to smoke heavily, and the first thing I would do in the morning was I would reach for a pack of cigarettes. I would smoke in the shower.
What? Is that even possible?
Yeah, you lean out and like that. But now I wake up and I reach for a phone straight away because
and get your hit, your dopamine hit from Twitter.
Yeah, or just from just the sort of ritual of stroking this little rectangle. It's quite sinister, actually, isn't it, when I describe it like that?
Oh, God.
So, with this in mind, what was so different about the Black Mirror episode Bandersnatch? Well, it was the first episode to take a step back in time. I believe this is very important. The majority of Black Mirror episodes take an aspect of technology and build on it in a logical way to show us the terrifying consequences of a future world where our obsession with technology has multiplied. Take Nosedive, for example. We are presented with Lacey Pound, who lives in a world where social media usage has been developed into every aspect of life, to the extent that you have a rating, and this affects where you can live, who you socialise with, and what you can buy. This takes the current world of Instagram, Facebook, Twitter and Snapchat and builds on it to show us the terrifying consequences. So how does Bandersnatch differ from this formula? Well, it doesn't take an aspect of technology and develop it. It shows us old technology, retro video games, and focuses on it. In this sense, there are no terrifying consequences. However, it draws a parallel between a choose-your-own-path video game and the fact that we can make important decisions in the story and influence the outcome of the episode. At the start, this seems like a fun gimmick, with simple choices like which cereal the character eats or which song the character listens to. However, as the episode develops, we are forced to make more and more gruesome decisions. This is the significant difference. While the story is shocking and intriguing, the really important aspect of what Brooker is doing here is involving us, as the viewer, into the episode. We are the Black Mirror twist, ultimately. Brooker forces us to choose who will jump off a balcony, and later forces us to choose whether we bury the father's body or chop him into pieces. And the character recognises our involvement. At one time he cries out for us to give him a sign, and we are forced to respond. Later, if you choose the option of making him cut his father's body into pieces, he whispers, "Please no." Ultimately, what Brooker is doing here is removing our comfort of being the impartial spectator. We cannot watch this episode and be shocked by the gore and depressing story while feeling completely comfortable and removed. We have to be involved. A thought that struck me while watching this episode was a reminder from the episode Hated in the Nation, where the tagline of the man using bee drones to kill the highest voted person on Twitter each day is, "Your actions have consequences." Sure, I know this episode is made for entertainment, and that there are not any real people being hurt. However, our emotional response to the episode is dictated by the fact that we are a player in the game, and our entertainment is only provided through having to choose between gruesome options. There are many philosophical themes throughout the episode, notably the idea of fatalism and determinism, the idea that all our life choices are preordained through nature and nurture, that we only have the illusion of free will. There are some incredible camera work and visual effects, notably in the LSD trip. There are many Easter eggs for fans to pick up on, like Metalhead being a video game in the episode. But I think that the true twist is Brooker involving us and showing us that visual entertainment is another aspect of technology, another aspect that can develop and can lead to terrible consequences. And perhaps by involving us in the story and forcing us to choose what happens, he is teasing the fact that, as consumers, as viewers, our wish to be shocked, our want for gore and stomach-turning storylines could have grisly consequences. Perhaps this all sounds really far-fetched, but I'll leave you with a thought. Think of the ancient Roman Colosseums where the crowd would chant whether a gladiator should live or die, and their voice would affect the outcome. Is that really so different from our choice as a viewer as to who should jump off a balcony, or when the main character should kill his father, or whether his body should be buried or cut up? I think Bandersnatch is one of the most interesting episodes to date, and I can't wait to see what else Brooker has in store for us. Thank you for watching. Please check out my other videos if you like this one.